This is a dab. It's made from marijuana by going through a process that turns it into a concentrated form of hash oil. Extracting hash oil from marijuana is not a new concept. In 2012, dabbing went mainstream after being referenced in songs and featured in a pop culture dance craze. But this particular product is special. For making traditional concentrates, the process uses solvents like butane to strip the compounds from the plant, resulting in a tasty cannabis product. In this process, a precise combination of pressure and heat are used to extract the cannabinoids from the marijuana plant without using any solvents or harsh chemicals. The end result is this, rosin, a yellowish-green residue ready for consumption. At the University of Colorado Boulder, students are well aware of this kind of smoking. Known as dabbing, users report an intense high from just a small amount of concentrate.
Well, dabs, I really, like I've heard of dabbing and stuff, all the time, because, I smoke pot, but
Yeah.
really once I got out to Colorado is when I first started dabbing, because I would assume, because it's legal, if you're 21,
Yeah.
to buy and consume cannabis, and dabs, are just, the new wave, I guess, it's the concentrate, and yeah, I was really just getting out here to Colorado is when I first kind of started to dab.
The university recently held a symposium on drugs, an event aimed at educating the public around current drug legislation and research. Brigitte Mars, a local Boulder herbalist and college professor at Naropa University, approached the topic of dabbing with a healthy dose of skepticism.
When it comes to making concentrates, this is something that's been going on in the herbal industry for a number of years, making concentrating a certain chemical constituent in a plant. We don't really know the long-term effect of that. And when I hear about plants that are extracted with things like hexane and benzene, well, I wouldn't want that in my ginseng, so why would I want that in something that I'm going to drink or eat or consume or even wear?
With marijuana use among college-aged adults continuing to rise and being the highest it's been in 30 years, the legality and lowered social stigma of consuming marijuana in even a potent form like dabbing can lead people to assume what they are ingesting is safe. CU's Center for Innovation and Creativity Lab is conducting the Acute Cognitive Effects of Dabbing study, ACE for short, that is trying to sniff out possible safety concerns. Leah Larson works as a lab technician and is currently working on the ACE study, which compares changes in the brains and behavior in over 60 regular cannabis users after switching them over to dabs. The study is ongoing and set to conclude in fall 2018.
So the study in general, what we do is we recruit participants, male or female, who dab, and we have 2 different strains that we're trying to look at, and so participants use those 2 different strains. And basically what we do is they come in for their first appointment. We do a blood draw. We also do different cognitive and motor tasks, because that's kind of the big thing with the study is dabbing and motor function. And then they have their second appointment with us, and that's when we bring the mobile lab to their house. So they basically did everything they did at their baseline, but repeated 3 times, and also they used that study strain of cannabis as well, and so we test that.
Research has started to discover the medical benefits and side effects of marijuana products, but it's been slow gathering this information. Marijuana Schedule I classification makes research tricky, as Larson explains.
Federally regulated studies, you can only use the cannabis that they give to you, and usually that cannabis is about 2 to 6% THC, which is not even remotely close to what's commercially available. So what's commercially available is usually about at least 16%, upwards to 30-35% THC, and so it's hard with the federally regulated strains.
Will legality and lessened stigma lead to dabbing taking on a fine pot role as a top-shelf alternative, or will the medical findings endanger it the same way as with tobacco products? With no indication of a drop-off in marijuana use on a whole, dabs, and those that use them, will have to wait for the research to come in. Until then, Larson has some reassuring words for dabbers.
We want to know more about cannabis, which is really the big problem, so whether that's a positive or negative finding, I think we would like to say that dabbing's not going to affect long-term cognitive and motor function, but we definitely don't know yet. So.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's it. Anything else?